Did you know that the technology sector contributes 17% of Georgia's $117 billion economy? Yet by 2018, Georgia will need to fill 211,000 technology jobs. The time to address this shortfall is now. You and your company can make a difference. Join us at this year's Vine event on October the 9th and directly support STEM education and technology careers in Georgia, while at the same time, enjoy an entertaining evening filled with great fellowship and great networking as you sample wines from local vineyards and bid in the live or silent auction. That's right, the 6th annual Vine event this October 9th. Drink wine, help strengthen Georgia's future workforce. Greetings, everyone. It's Tuesday, September 9th, 2014, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. I'm your guest host, Frank Baia. Up to the Tech Talk, Phil Regnault, Vice President, America's Market Development, Hitachi Consulting, Oracle Solution Practice. Phil is a leading member on the board of the Technology Association of Georgia Education Collaborative, and in this edition of Tech Talk, he shares the legacy and impact of TAG-Ed's efforts along with the plans and excitement beginning to build around this year's upcoming October annual Vine event. In his role at Hitachi Consulting Oracle Solution Practice, Phil focuses his team of more than 30 business developers on finding homes for the firm's impressive intellectual property and capabilities, with client acquisition and satisfaction being his primary goals as an Oracle Diamond partner. The practice Phil leads is a market leader in helping clients innovate with purpose and become enterprises of things. Announcing the TAG 2014 Vine event this October 9th, a result-driven volunteer initiative that had raised over $365,000 in the last 5 years, funds that support a variety of programs, including the Student Popular Web Challenge, high school summer intern programs, and the annual Georgia STEM Day, which attracted over 620,000 students and educators. Find out how you and your organization can not only participate October 9th, but join the growing number of technology community leaders that help fund and sponsor this crucially important event. It's a tech talk about leadership, fellowship, and education that impacts Georgia's economic future with Hitachi Consulting, Vice President, Oracle Solution Practice, and Board Member, TAG Education Collaborative, Phil Regnault. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Phil, welcome to Tech Talk.
Hey there, thanks for having me here.
$365,000 raised in the last 5 years for STEM education. I know that you've been going into your second year of chairing the event. I think most of our listening audience knows what the Vine event is about, but let's go into that first up. What is the Vine event fundraiser?
Happy to describe that, and thanks for throwing out that number. We're very proud of the amount of money that we've raised for the cause of STEM education, and the Vine event is, frankly, the most important single source of funding that we have to support the TAG Education Collaborative initiatives overall. And so specifically what it is, it's an annual executive high-end networking event where we hold both a live and silent auction, a dinner, and fine wines from all over the globe. We do a wine tasting, we have some fun competitions, and it's really a terrific event. It's held once a year, like I said. We hold it at the Summer Hour Studios in Midtown Atlanta, and we have a great showing there.
Now, some of the things our listening audience may be aware of, but just to let them know a little bit more detail, some of the things that the Education Collaborative gets involved in terms of not only the STEM promotion, which, by the way, TAG has been instrumental in creating STEM Day. Now it's going into the second annual Georgia STEM Day. That's in May. And over 500,000, 620,000 students and educators participated in that alone. And that's about awareness and about networking in ways that engage schools and businesses to get involved with each other for STEM activities. And then there's the high school summer intern program, the Web Challenge. there's so many things that a lot of people don't realize, that even though it's a fun and a great event, and there's some really incredibly great wines and some great values that are available, and if you're interested in that kind of thing, and as far as high-quality wine, I think I would be one of those people. But that said, let's talk a little bit about who is the target audience. Who are you looking for to participate in this particular night's activity?
We're looking for people that have an interest in the cause of STEM education in Georgia in the first place, and that can be a mix of business leaders, community leaders, educators, or just interested citizens, people who understand that the cause of STEM education is one that is relevant to Georgia society as a whole, not just technology employers, although technology employers are certainly a big beneficiary and an important element of the Georgia economy overall. You know, Frank, that there's not a sector within the economy these days that one way or the other doesn't touch technology. They either benefit from technology or are producing it themselves. But it's not even just technology. We're talking about healthcare. We're talking about manufacturing, engineering, even accounting firms. You know, STEM education is also about driving accounting and math and all that. So there's a lot of potential sources of interest, if you will. And so we get an interesting mix of people that either attend the event or support it from afar through a variety of contributions that they can make.
I think obviously the bottom line is jobs, 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 because the eventual commitment of these type of activities and the awareness of the STEM initiatives and the idea of getting more and more younger people involved, not only in the educational aspects, but eventually in the careers that they lead to, is how Georgia competes in the global economy, how it will compete and ideally lead in the digital economy of the future. Just as an example, and I think, Phil, we'd be remiss in not bringing up who you are and what you do. You're Vice President of America's Market Development, Hitachi Consulting. Talk a little bit about, I got to love it when you talk about innovate with purpose and become the enterprises of things. You know, I often say on Tech Talk, the vernacular can't keep up with the technology to describe the crazy stuff that's happening out there. Tell our listening audience a little bit about what you do specifically, but maybe drift into just a little bit about the enterprises of things.
You got it. So I'm here as you said, as the chair of the Vine event. I also sit on the board of the Technology Association Georgia Education Collaborative, which is a great honor. It's been a fun 3-year run participating on this board. I had a personal interest in this topic, having been educated in the sciences myself and understanding the benefit that you can have with that. But there's also an interest that the company that I'm with Hitachi Consulting, has in ensuring that STEM takes hold, and that these 250,000 or so jobs that we're looking to fill over the next 3 to 5 years in Georgia alone, that there's a good flow of educational initiatives that contributes to filling those jobs. At Hitachi Consulting, we're just shy of $1 billion or so in revenue, and we are an IT and management consultancy. We belong to Big Hitachi, if you will, which is the Japanese conglomerate giant that is the last count, I believe, the 38th largest company on the planet. And we're in a lot of different industries, everything from power generation to consumer goods to medical devices to information technology, and a lot more than that too. And so every one of those industries, like I said before, benefit from the promotion of STEM education. And you referenced enterprise of things, for example. That's one focus area that we have within Hitachi Consulting, and that is to promote the join, if you will, between information technology and operational technology, as enabled by this big trend that we're seeing in the market right now around the Internet of Things. Now, I'm sure you've been exposed to that a lot, and TAG does a lot in the IoT space, and we look to not only capitalize on that trend, but really drive it through this idea of social innovation, which is the combination of the intersection of information technology and social infrastructure. You know, the idea of smart cities and smart plants and smart homes, smart buildings, and this is really a very important focus point for us.
You know, I'm going to take advantage and invite you back to Tech Talk as in your position, so that we can get into some of that. I think our listening audience would be fascinated to know what Hitachi is all about and what you guys are into. I know that we talk often about cognitive computing. We talk about not just predictive, but prescriptive analytics. And when you start talking about, you know, sensors and computers that teach themselves and those kind of things, smart cities and the realities of some of the Internet of Things, it's a lot closer than we think. So it would be really fun to have you back. Again, in closing, we did mention a little bit, but let's reinforce how much is raised at the Vine event. Well, maybe give us some particulars about it once again, and then how much is raised at the event. And then also, how can someone support the event specifically? Is it by attendance only, or can they make an actual contribution?
There's a lot of different ways in which they can contribute. So I'll elaborate a little bit on that. But just dialing back a little bit and revisiting what the event is all about. The event itself is a means towards an end. The end we've talked about, which is promoting STEM education. We do that through STEM Day, for example. We're extremely grateful to Governor Deal and his administration for the support that they've lent to the cause there. You mentioned the high school summer internship program. We had no fewer than 1,400 high school students apply this past summer for that. Just we're experiencing hockey stick growth in that. We do things like the Web Challenge program that really promotes the creativity and vision that, frankly, I find very inspiring that we're seeing from sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school. And
most people don't realize $200,000 in secondary scholarships over the last 10 years, up to 11 years.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's absolutely amazing. Things are happening. Go ahead.
And what's inspiring is, you know, I'm 40-something right now, and I sometimes put to shame by these 16, 17-year-olds and what they know about technology and what they're capable of doing. It's just, it's really awe-inspiring. So
the first Vine event I ever went to, we had some of the students come out and describe it. And the thing I was fascinated with, not only their technical expertise, they had companies. They had vice presidents of marketing, and they had a CEO and a CIO. And I mean, they couldn't have been 14 years old or something. And I thought, yeah, this is the future without question. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. When you see it and experience it face to face, and also I think the camaraderie. I mean, you're dealing with not only people who have a common interest in terms of enjoying wine, but they have a common interest in being altruistic about the future of our economy and about helping young kids to achieve.
That's exactly right. And so we do parade a few of those students in front of the audience there at the event, and that is always the highlight of the event, because people are just it's fun to see how very successful people, because everyone who attends this event is somehow successful in their own right, but how they can be inspired by kids who haven't even graduated high school yet. And that's really, for me, what makes the event very special. But back to your question on how people can contribute, certainly we're looking forward to having people there. We usually have somewhere in the neighborhood of 225 to 250 people attend the event. We are always holding out our hand for corporate or individual sponsors, people to buy tables and or higher level sponsorships that generate some recognition and awareness for the organization that they represent. I mentioned before that the event itself is centered around a number of different auction types. So if people have services or goods or ideas that they can contribute to the auctions, we're always open to that. Of course, the Vine event is a wine event too, and so we're always looking for lots of wine that can be contributed as well. And then lastly, when people are there, we run a really interesting little program that evening that we call a Fund a Need event too, where we're looking for cash donations that support two levels of need. One, needful students and to help them succeed in the STEM area, but also needful companies or nonprofits who might not be able to afford participation in the intern program, but through this Fund a Need program are able to get connected with an intern and drive a good relationship that way. And then lastly, we're always looking for direct donations to Tag Ed as well, just to keep the organization and the cause going.
Okay, so I've got my car keys in one hand, my checkbook in the other, and now all you need to know is some information. How do I get more information regarding the event?
Best place to go first would be to visit our website, which is at www.tagedonline.org. That's TAGED online.org. And I'm happy to take questions directly myself as well. My email would be phil.regnault, that's REGNAULT, at Hitachi.com.
Well, number one, thank you so much for what you're doing with TAG, not only serving on the board the way you have over the years, but also chairing the event. I think it's both a challenge but also a blessing because it's a lot of fun and you meet a lot of great people, and that kind of leadership makes a difference, and thank you for your service. And then finally, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us for a few minutes to tell us about it today on Tech Talk.
It was great to be here with you today. Thank you.